Hey everybody, welcome back for this afternoon session, Facebook Live, Making Memories with Handy Quilter. I am so excited to be back, and I got voted to do introductions this afternoon. So I'm Kim Sandberg, I'm the education manager here, and I've got two fabulous quilters here this afternoon to quilt with us. So first I want to introduce, we're going to save Tina for last. Come here, Ashley. This is my good friend, Ashley. Ashley is our events manager here at Handy Quilter. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at Handy Quilter?
Okay. I manage our shows and events. So anywhere across the country in North America that you go to have experiences on our machines, I help to facilitate getting them there.
Exactly. I love Ashley. Ashley and I've had a lot of fun adventures together on film. If you guys want to watch some fun stuff, you should check out the Clueless Quilter videos that we did. Ashley joined us here at Handy Quilter as a non-quilter, and we have firmly turned her into a quilter. How many quilts have you done now?
I think I'm up to 32.
Exactly. Yeah, it happens. So we're excited to have Ashley with us this afternoon. And we've got Tina Harris back. And Tina she introduced herself yesterday. Yeah, go ahead and scoot that on over. She's part of our national educator team from Texas. And I have her mic on, so I'm going to let her just enjoy not talking for a minute. At the top of the hour here, I just wanted to remind everybody about the promos we've got going on right now. So we've got a fabulous promo. If you purchase a machine, you can pick your bundle, and we've got 3 different options. Option number 1 is you get a roll of batting and a thread bundle. So all you need is tops and backs, and you'll be off in quilting when you get your new machine if you choose this bundle. Option number 2 is a highlight. So this is the highlight right here. And you can get that either integrated into your frame, depending on the frame you get, or you can always get a freestanding one that goes out around your frame. So that is an absolutely fabulous choice, especially if you need some extra lighting in your studio. And then your third option, if you're getting a ProStitcher, this is the one to go for. You get $500 to spend at ProStitcher.com in the ProStitcher pattern section. So even though ProStitcher comes with a ton of designs, it allows you to add on $500 worth of designs for those other special projects that you have. So you pick your promo bundle. And yeah, we got you covered there. If you have questions about purchasing a machine, Brianne's going to put a number up on the screen here. You give us a call. We have got our sales managers answering the phones right now, and they can answer all your questions. They can give you some great options. And don't forget, if you happen to be a current machine owner and you're thinking about trading up to a new machine, be sure and ask them about that. Just ask them about trading up. They've got you covered. We're going to have a giveaway this hour. Our giveaway is going to be hashtag HQ Memories. So remember, that's all one word. Lily's going to write it up there, and you guys will remember to tell people about that every so often. So just make sure you comment hashtag HQ Memories. Don't put any spaces in there. And you'll be entered for that $50 gift card, good at handyquilter.com. We're going to draw that at the end of this segment. So I think I covered all the businessy stuff. I am going to give Tina back her. We're going to get a little close and personal here.
Okay, we're good.
And you guys are off and running.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Kim.
Hey, everybody, we're back again. I'm Tina Harris, and as Kim said, I am your Handy Quilter National Educator. I get an opportunity to go from place to place and just kind of hang out with people. And one of my favorite places, believe it or not, to come to is actually Utah. Why? Because there is just a whole host of wonderful, beautiful people here. But more importantly, this is kind of like the headquarters of where Handy Quilter is actually stationed. And I have to say, when I come here, yes, I enjoy hanging out with my production team. So shout out to Miss Lily and Miss Brianne. But this other person that's standing right next to me is Ashley. I look forward to just being with her all the time. We have great chats. We talk business. We talk fun. We talk quilts. And we're just good friends. So, but anyway, I want to say thank you very much for just hanging out with me. I think Brianne asked me if there was somebody I wanted to just be with. I said, you know what? Outside of you two, I want to be with Ashley. So when Ashley agreed to come, it just warmed my heart. So I was really excited about it because she's like another member of my little fam. So, but anyway, all right, Miss Ashley. Are you ready to just jump into some stuff today, or what do you
Yeah.
want to do?
Well, welcome back, Tina.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, I didn't have to think twice about joining you here on camera. I would in a heartbeat because I send you all over the country. So when you come
Yeah.
here, it's a special treat. But yeah, we have a really cool project that you are going to demonstrate, and you were giving me a preview, and I'm very excited about it. I
Yeah.
think people will like it.
So I have to tell you a little bit more about Ashley before we get started. Ashley actually worked in the, she's so modest, but she's not. But anyway, she actually worked in the fashion industry. And she said just a few minutes ago, okay, hey, Tina, what are we going to do? I said, oh, you know what? We're just going to keep this probably advanced level, make something pretty easy, like a, book cover or a sleeve. I don't know, something for our tablet. And she said, so what do you have in mind? I said, you know what? Well, let me show you. So I pulled this out, and in Ashley's fashion, she says, that's nice. So whenever someone tells me that that's nice, I was like, oh no, I got to level up, because guess what? I know that you out there, you're getting on here, you're taking your time to see something hopefully a little bit fresh, hopefully a little bit innovative and new. So what we decided to do, she left me over to my side, and I just said, hey, do you like this fabric or do you like this fabric? I like that fabric. I said, thank you very much. So sometimes we just have to have a community of people to be with in order just to kind of like, bounce off some ideas. So with that being said, though, I think brown and mauve pink is beautiful and it's great.
Combo.
It's a good combo. It looks nice, but, and this is functional, but how can we zhuzh this thing up and make it worthwhile, right? Make this something that somebody would say, even as a child or an adult or a quilter who's doodling, what can we do to make this look a little bit better and make it more functional? So as we go through the day, Ashley and I are just going to just kind of like maybe bounce off each other, and we are going to figure out how to level up this plain composition cover. Are we all good with that?
I like it. We're going to collaborate.
Yep.
We have some fun things. This fabric that we picked out, I love it for back to school. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Okay. So the first thing I want to show you guys is that we do have this actual composition cover, right? So this is the basic one. This is something really good, quick, get it done, make it look cute. Whether you're going on a quilter's retreat or anything like that, then you'll have something to just kind of like, say that I'm a quilter, I'm serious, look at my cute little gadgets that I am kind of making, right? So when you open this up, obviously, it's a cover. It kind of reminds you of going back to school and we had to pull out those paper bags. Did you ever have to do that?
Oh, yeah. Brown paper cover.
Yeah.
And then you doodle on it. It'd get torn halfway through the year.
Yeah.
But you only got to do it once.
You got halfway through the year. I
I
didn't make it past week 1 with the brown paper sack.
I'm a little type A about a few things.
Oh goodness. See
like
what I'm
to
saying?
take care of my stuff. What I was thinking about this is it's
Yeah.
like perfect for scraps
Yeah.
and leftover things. And most of my quilts I make for other people and I give to other people. Out of that 31 or 32 I've made, I only have about 4 or 5 of them at home.
Yeah.
But what I really like is if I have scraps left over from a quilt I've made for somebody I love, if I can make something that I'm going to use every day and enjoy and still look at that fabric and think about what I did. Like, how fun is this?
It is. It's extremely fun.
Hashtag HQ memories. There you go.
Thank you very much, Miss Ashley. So anyway, so let's keep talking about this a little bit, right? When I was thinking about just even putting this together and say, hey, what would all of the HQ community really like to see? I was like, I don't know. What's functional? What's easy? But what's something that doesn't look so easy all the time? What can we do? And I was like, okay, I can do this. And I was satisfied with it. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go to, hold on. My bag of stuff, right?
A lot of goodies.
Well, we have goodies.
I love these.
Yeah. So I looked inside and I just brought a few things in and I was like, okay, maybe, I can use my 505 spray. That's always good as a quilter. Maybe I can add ribbon. I don't know, different sizes of ribbon. I don't know. I have elastic, right? Brown, black, white, all kinds, thick, thin, just stuff, right? And I'm looking through it, ribbon, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is everything that a quilter actually probably has in their arsenal. Elmer's glue. Okay, guys, seriously, you almost can't live without this. This is probably the cheapest little hack to keep your piecing in line. But I don't want to do piecing on my sewing machine. I'm going to do it on the long arm. Ashley, do you think we could use this? Maybe?
You know, one of my favorite things I learned when I crossed over into quilting
Yeah.
from apparel sewing was adhesives and glues. I had not really gotten into that.
Yeah.
And every single quilter who, shared their knowledge with me, they'd say, oh, you need this glue. You should try Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
You can do 505. And I just am like, gluing something is my favorite thing to do. So I'm sure there's a way. There's something we're going to do today.
Yeah. So, and she's totally right. So the reason why I like Elmer's glue or 505, it is simply because it is going to dry clear and you can actually stitch over it using your long arm machine. So I will say, I don't prefer that you or me or anyone just try to clump it all on there and then start stitching. Okay, you are asking for a situation,
But use sparingly.
but use sparingly.
And
It's
it's
probably
washable.
pretty good. Exactly. So, and then I kept looking, I saw everything, bias tape. I said, you know what, this is good. I saw zippers. I mean, these are all
the
the
goodies.
things that, we could all do. So I'm just going to put some of this stuff back in the bag. Notice how I'm throwing it because you know what? I might not use this. I might come back to it. Who
You
knows?
might not even get this bag back.
I
You've got
might
a lot
not
of
even,
nice things in
yeah,
here.
see what she's saying? I'm getting my bag back. Okay. So, but anyway, some of the tools that I decided to use is for sure is in creating this is that, you know what? On this cover, we both agreed that this little elastic binding, one, it's functional. And that's all it is. It's just functional. But I couldn't just be functional. I'm standing here with fashion queen lady, right? So I had to just say, let's level up this elastic. So one of the things and one of the tools that you would need in order to create a cover would be like some elastic. So we decided to get like really cool designer kind of elastic. The elastic is still in the center, but it looks more like a ribbon and it's just really cute. It has a little sass to it, right? And then I was like, okay, now let me lay some stuff out. The first thing I need to look at is I need fabric that's going to go on the outside of my cover. So, and you look at this, for me, the minimum of what I wanted was two separate fabrics. One was going to be the actual showcase piece, and the other one was going to be like a binding, taking it back a notch. It looks like something that would be on the edge of a book cover, right? So, with that being said, I was like, okay, I have that. I have a composition book because I need to know how big am I trying to make this. I don't have a pattern necessarily in mind, but I'm just going to kind of like figure out with a minimal plan for sure, what am I going to do? And one of the things that I like about a composition book is that it actually tells you what the dimensions are on the outside of it. Now, when I made others at home, I will tell you, it doesn't always tell you what your dimensions are. So I just picked up a regular measuring tape and I decided that, you know what, with my measuring tape, I'm going to measure one side. And if I measured that one side, then I realized, okay, that's good. But then I need to measure the other side. So I would double it. But the first time I made it, I thought, okay, well, man, it looks nice. But when I put it on, it was pretty,
a little snug.
It was beyond snug. Yeah. So I decided just to measure the front side. I wrapped it all the way around to the back where you see the actual spine of the book. And then I came all the way over to the back. So then that would tell me how big my composition book cover needs to be at the minimum, right? So with all of us being piecers and you working with a lot of apparel, we know that we have to give ourselves a little bit of an allowance.
A little bit of ease.
A little bit of ease, because the last thing you want to work with is not enough material. So I like to always add a little bit. So in this case, I'm just going to try to keep everything simple, and I will measure this. And then as we go along, once I've measured it, I'm going to always add an additional inch or better to whatever I'm doing, so that whenever I'm ready to kind of do my grand reveal and pop it inside and out, right? Then I will be able to, okay, guys, let me tell you, Brienne's back here and she's doing the whole dance thing. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Brienne. So I don't know if that was a cue for me to smile or not. But anyway, here I am. So anyway, yay, excitement in the air. So let's just kind of talk about the basic things that you would need in order to create this, right? So first and foremost, I don't know if you can see this. For me, I need to have my glasses because now I'm getting ready to actually quilt and I'm going to do some things, right? So for me, tool number one, glasses, right? So now that I have my glasses, I'm going to be able to read and see and do the things that I need to do. So, Ashley, just like I said, first thing I needed to figure out was, hey, what's going to go on the cover? So, the cover, we decided that we were going to use, you can go ahead and pull that out if you like to.
I will do a little Vanna White.
Yeah, there we go.
And you've labeled everything with the size. We've done the math. We've done the measuring.
Yeah, we
And we
have.
have this cute blue ground print with all these little school supplies, which I love because it's going on the composition book. And I don't know, now that I'm a grown up, there's no kids around. I just miss that like back to school feeling. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do too.
You gave me a good surprise with this fun fabric today. And then we have a black accent fabric that's going to be that binding on the spine.
Mhm.
And should we talk about our fun accent? Or is it too soon?
It's
Might
too
be-
soon. Let's not
Okay,
tell
we,
them.
we have a nice surprise for later.
So I'm just going to move it out the way in case they're kind of showing you stuff
I
ahead
like a
of time.
good surprise.
I know. So we're going to move that stuff out of the way just for a second. And for those of you who like this adorable little fabric, I will say that you can probably pick it up at your local quilt shops. Let's support them. We all know that they would love to see you and love to help you out. But this fabric is actually made by Ruby Star Society.
Love Ruby Star.
I love Ruby Star too. And I think the actual name of the person, I don't have that one. I wanted to share that with you, but we will
that's some
find it
homework.
so that we can let you know who that would be for you. So, but anyway, you can get that. It's made by Ruby Star, and it's really cute. She has two different colors. One is in blue and the other one is in white, but they both have the print on it. It has the little staplers, the rulers, the everything that you can just about imagine, scissors that would be related to supplies that you need in order to send your young one or your high school age person back to school. So now that we have the actual the front, we also have our binding that's going to go in the center. We also have sleeves. So if you look over here, Ashley's going to pull up the sleeve for you. Yeah. So she's pulling up a sleeve. And when you look at that a little bit more closely, it's nothing more than a 12, I believe, what is it, by 10 and a half.
This is, 12 and a half by 10 and a half.
It's 12 and a half by 10 and a half. And when you open up, it is just folded in half. And then we made a nice little straight, flat iron.
You just needed to press that a little
Yeah,
bit,
press it down.
which we did on our Laura Star.
Yeah, we did
Just
on the Laura
saying.
Star.
They're also friends of ours. Love the Laura Star.
Okay. And then the last thing that we're going to need is we need something on the inside because we're going to do a lot of quilting and hopefully a lot of creativity. And along the way, we just might change our mind on how we want something to look. So if that's the case, we need to be able to cover up all of our stitching that we may like and some that we might not like. So we're just going to now get another piece of fabric, which I chose black this time so that it can just be on the inside. And then when you open it up, it'll be a nice little contrast, something that will kind of like make you happy. So, all right, let's get started, right? Why don't we?
Okay.
We're going to move all of these things over to the side. Actually, yep. We'll just get a lot of stuff out of the way.
So the elastic and the front piece is the first thing we're doing?
Actually, no. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on just getting the elastic on. I even
Okay.
found this. I thought that might be cute. I don't know if we
Oh, I
wanted to
love
use
it.
this or not. So whenever you're building an actual composition, you're going to be working from the front side, and then you're going to be building all the way up until you get to the back side. So when we do this, we already know that our composition book cover, as you can see, I'm moving the machine back over on top of it, on top of the partial quilt sandwich. And we're going to get right back to where Kim left off. I am now looking at um, my monitor. I'm looking at my ProStitcher display. And when I'm looking at my ProStitcher display, one of the things I want to do is be able to just kind of put a grid up and work from the grid so that I can see what I'm doing, kind of lining things up, trying to be a little mathematical in some way. But this is what we're going to do. So
I've never worked with a grid.
you haven't?
Yeah, so this is like
Oh,
a teaching
I'm just
moment.
assuming everybody knows how to do this. So let's just go ahead and let's talk about that.
Okay.
Most often people live right here in ProStitcher,
Right.
right? And so one of the things that we're going to see is that when we're living in ProStitcher, we see half stitch and we go all the way over, right? All the way over until we find full stitch, follow, measure, based, quilt, channel, lock, move. All of these things are wonderful when you're actually quilting out.
Right.
But sometimes we need something that reminds you of graph paper. Remember, these are the memories that we're going to create when we go back to school. So I want graph paper up to kind of help me stay in alignment.
Yeah, you want
Right.
alignment with the pieces and sizing things.
Right.
So yeah, that's really helpful.
Now, over here on the side, on the side that's actually called your quick access toolbar, this is an opportunity for us to kind of learn something because it really just depends on where you are. You may or may not have a grid already there for you just to press and move forward. So what I like to do at this point is I go all the way across from the file all the way over here until I get to, it looks like a George Jetson cog or a settings tool, really. So then I press the settings button. And once I've done that, then over in my sidebar, I have workspace, I have selected, and I also have display. Well, underneath display, you have opportunities to kind of change things around. First and foremost, a lot of people, especially when I'm in class, they've told me that once they're at home, they can't really see the icons very much. And so my friend Mary Beth and I talked about it. And one of the simplest way to at least make those icons a little bit bigger is to make sure that your touch button is highlighted in green. So notice when I touched it, it made all of my icons over here in my quick access toolbar small. So if I touch that button again, guess what happens? It's like I don't have to have my glasses so much, and
Oh,
the
nice.
icons over here actually got a little bit bigger. But Tina, I don't have the grid on mine. How do I get to that? Let's go over here to assign. If we touch assign at this point, then if we notice all the way back over here, Lillian, I don't know if you can see this, all of this actually changed on our quick access toolbar, right? There are some things that did not change, but everything over here did. It made everything bigger. So let me do that one more time so you can see that. So I'm going to take assign off. There's nothing that I can do. If I hit assign, Ashley, what do you see that's a little bit different?
Well, they're just laid out in a column on the left side.
Right.
And I assume that if you want those that we're not seeing on the screen, we're going to scroll to access them.
We can scroll them.
And we can reorder them, right?
Yep, we can reorder them if we
Okay.
wanted to. But this is what I'm going to actually do, right? So I'm going to go over here where I have my grid, and there's a little triangle. I'm going to touch that triangle, and look what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it expands a whole window that pops up with all these features.
It absolutely does.
Wow.
So if I wanted rulers to be shown, then I can touch rulers, and then I would hit assign. Okay. So
Okay.
nothing happened, but guess what? Now all of this changed. And if I touch rulers now, then, well, it's not
What do we
working
have to
at the
be?
top. I need to assign rulers. No, that's there. You know what, guys? Forgive me.
Well, you
But
know,
it's
we
supposed to
could
be
just
right
go
here.
from the top again so we can review where we wound up to.
Yep, we went over here to settings. After
Mhm.
settings, we came over here to assign. Assign, we said, okay, for rulers, well, let's change rulers and let's make this now our grid. We're going to hit grid.
Okay.
So now that grid has been assigned, then all we have to do is hit assign and grid is there. So if we wanted to touch grid, now we can actually see grid pop up onto our screen. And for you at home, this is useful whenever you're trying to just line something up. All right. So now with all this being said, we know that we need to make our cover. And our cover that we're trying to make is going to be actually, let's see, let me put this up here so that you can see it. We know this is 9 3/4, right? But when we actually measured it out, it basically came to about 15 and a half. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do at this point in time, I'm going to remember 15 and a half, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I have nothing that I can stitch. I don't know what I need to do. Tina, great, I know it's 15 and a half. What do you do now? Well, at this point, I am now just going to go back into File because I'm all finished. I'm going to hit Design, and I'm going to Open. So now that I've opened, I'm going to go back into One PS Designs. I'm going to hit Block. Now that I've touched blocks, you'll see that all of my designs to the right side has changed. And I'm just going to scroll up until I can find a square. So let me know if you see it. I know that it's listed all alphabetically, but man, look at all these designs that we have that we can select from. This is phenomenal, right? And here we are. It says square 4 by
Oh, the
4.
4x4.
Right.
I have not used that in a long time.
Okay, well, let's try it today. Why don't you go ahead and select that and see what we get? Okay, so she touched it one time. There's two ways that you can actually get in, have this displayed on the screen. Either you can double tap square, or once you hit it once and you come down here at the bottom, there's kind of like a little space bar. You can hit that, but you can also hit open. All right, so now we've loaded our square. Well, it's definitely not big enough yet. So let's go ahead and let's modify our square a little bit. So we're going to modify it by saying we're going to resize it. And now that we're going to resize it, well, I noticed that my lock aspect is on, and I'm probably really going to look to make an actual rectangle. So let's go ahead and take lock off. Good.
And then we want to double check the height too to make sure.
We want to
we're not
double
off
check the
there.
height, and we want to check that. So now that we have this, we have, okay, this is our width and we have height. So let's start with width, Ashley. We measured our book all the way from one side to the next.
And that was 15 and a half.
It was 15 and a half. So let's go ahead and put 16 and a half. Remember, we wanted to add at least 1 inch.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. That's right. Now we need to figure out the height. So now that we have the height, I'm just like, okay, let's figure out where we are. And I am now going to measure my book again. And we're right about, it looks like about almost 10 inches, right?
Yeah, just shy of that.
So would we put 10? Yeah, it measures to about 10 inches. It's actually 9 3/4, but we're going to round it up to 10. So now that we have 10 inches, what do we do now?
We're going to do exactly what we did in the other side. We're just going to put 10.
Okay, but if we made it 10 and we get ready, and remember I wanted a
Oh,
little
you
bit
want
of
to add an inch.
allowance.
So we're going to make that 11.
Right, let's make that 11.
I was thinking that because you didn't have to compensate for the binding, that it would just be 10. But you're
Yeah.
right. You need some ease.
Yeah, we need a little bit of
Yep.
ease, right?
Better
Give
to be on
ourselves
the
some
safe
room to
side.
work with. All right, so now that we have that, we have a 16 by 11 rectangle. But guess what? I can't see anything. How do I?
We go to the little house.
Yeah.
The refresh button.
Yeah, so when we hit the refresh button, we actually can see 16 inches by 11 inches on our screen. So it's no longer a square, it is a nice rectangle. Okay, well, I'm looking at this and I see that I have crosshairs and my crosshairs are orange, but I'm trying to figure out, okay, will all of this actually align onto what I'm trying to do? I have all of my batting and my backing right here in the center. So what I'm going to do is just kind of move my crosshairs. I'm looking at my actual batting, and I want to make sure, one, that I'm giving myself enough allowance that I'm not hitting the clamps and I'm not hitting the back or going into a previous design. And I also want to make sure that I'm going to have plenty of room. So let's just kind of start our book cover right here. And now I'm thinking I need to reposition this square or this rectangle. I wonder, what do I press now in order to reposition my rectangle?
Well, there's a few ways you can do this based
Okay.
on how you like to reposition things.
Okay.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. But
Tell me
we
about
can
it.
just touch the screen and drag it down,
We can.
or we can go to reposition, and we can use the arrows here on the right side of the screen.
Yep.
We could also, if we wanted to move it, like if we need to move it a lot, we can use these alignment tools here.
Let's use those alignment tools.
So
and
let's
see.
go to the bottom left.
So we
Oh,
chose
wait, I
bottom
chose the
left.
wrong one.
No, well,
Oh.
I don't know. Let's just see what happens. If we did bottom left, okay, let's move our handlebars. And if we move our handlebars up, maybe
Oh.
that wasn't quite the right one. So which one should we try now?
I'm just taking wild guesses.
She's
Tina.
taking wild guesses. Let's also refresh this so we can see it. Now, if I wanted to stitch this out, my red and green start and end X or start points, if I move my machine, it goes off. So that's not right. So in other words, if you look at all of the different, like top left, top right, bottom left, you're going to notice that in this case, the bottom right, there's going to be like a little circle in the corner. That little circle means that that's exactly where um, your I want to say cursor, but it's exactly where your needle is going to be. So therefore, anything that's in the big square, that's going to denote where your design is. So with that being said, yeah, there was
last step one more time. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I understand that we may have had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to understand exactly what's happening. When you're looking at your reposition tool, you look in the center of it and it's on your sidebar, right? You're going to go to modify, reposition, go all the way over to your sidebar. And then underneath your sidebar, you're going to see top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. In that, you're going to see like a little circle in one of those corners. That little circle denotes where your needle is going to be. The big square that's around that circle is going to show you which position it's going to be. So in other words, where is your design going to be in respect to your needle? So now let's just look at this. We've tried everything. I've moved my handlebars close to where I want it to be. So let's now just move our actual design where we want it. And in this case, our design is the rectangle. So I'm going to hit bottom left. And once I hit bottom left, we've moved things around. I can't see it. Ashley was already so nice to say, hey, Tina, just go to the home button. Well, let's do that. And that's what I've done. So does everybody see that we've put it on the bottom left? Is it all cool? Can you see that? Okay, good. Now I'm going to move my handlebar, right? And then, oh my goodness, well, as I move it, maybe my design is not where I want it to be. It's up top. So then let's try top left. So, and refresh. Now I'm going to move my handlebar because I want to make sure that my design is going to fit in my throat space. So we're going to go from the top and we're going to move this all the way down to the bottom. And remember, I don't want to hit the bar at the, I'm doing pretty good. I have plenty of space to actually quilt out. So now that I see that I'm able to move things over, I am actually going to zoom in a little bit. because this is still a little bit small to see. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I do that, I'm using my fingers and I'm just dragging it across from top left to bottom right. And then I'm able to line up things according to what I can see, right? So here are my handlebars. And instead of fretting over, oh, I'm a 1/16 millimeter out, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look and bring my crosshairs close to where there's an intersection on that line.
So you're choosing the location on the grid, not just incidentally, as like if, for example, if we were doing edge to edge, make an area, you'd align with wherever your area is. We're just choosing the grid to be our guideline.
Right. And so in this case, you notice how I move it just a little bit, and then it kept moving back and right. It's not exactly where I want it to be. It's okay. It's no big deal. I'm still going to hit top left, and I'm repositioning it. It's still not quite where I want it. So like Ashley said, let's nudge it over just a little bit. We're moving that design so that it will run flat against your x-axis and your y-axis. Are we almost there? There we go. Is that pretty close?
Oh yeah. And if you're
Yeah.
not sure, we can zoom in.
Oh, let's zoom in one more time.
Kim loves to zoom in real close.
Oh, so
And-
maybe not.
But
Yeah. So
yeah, see, it depends on how precise you want to be. It's just, it surprises me sometimes how much to the naked eye
yeah,
it looks like it's, exact.
Yeah.
But one of the things I love about ProStitcher is you can get very finite details,
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can obsess
yeah,
if you want to. If you're that kind of person.
exactly.
If you're type A like me.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley. So let's go ahead. Let's just get started, Ashley. So everybody's laughing in here and snorting. So it's a good thing that you can't even hear these things, but this is really crazy. Anyway, so that first little placement line that I have, or this first rectangle, that if you are an embroiderer, you normally put a placement line down. So I'm putting my first placement line down so I know where to place my fabric. So with that being said, Ashley, don't snort on me.
I'm not a snorter when I laugh.
Okay, I'm going. Okay, it's actually Brianne. Okay.
Brianne makes
I'm going to do a needle
wonderful-
down and a needle up, and I'm going to bring up my bobbin thread. Okay.
You know what we didn't.
Is it possible to have this project a little bit closer to Lily?
Lily, do you need me a little bit closer to you?
Oh,
Oh, you
yeah.
want me? Sure. All of this hard work aligning everything up, but I'm going to do this for Lily.
It's a teaching moment.
It's a teaching moment. It's
too.
great.
We love that.
What would you do if someone had to move their quilt mid-project? How would you tell them to get doing that?
I'm not certain I understand. She said, hey, if I needed to move my quilt mid-project.
Yeah, like if you needed to move it on the poles further down, or you would have to unpin everything and repin and.
Well,
You
Go
mean
ahead.
left or right on the frame?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, it's more of a reposition. So all I'm going to do is everything that I've done already. Am I not answering the question? Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I'm talking
My
about.
frame at home isn't large enough that I would have that option. I've never run into that problem. But I can imagine, say you're doing charity quilts and you want to fit 2 of them, or baby quilts, and you want to make some room, right? Is that what you're thinking, Lily?
That's exactly.
You'd almost have to start over from scratch.
Sometimes,
have
you know
to-
what? Sometimes you would have to start over from scratch, but if you have enough backing material and enough batting material, then you could almost, it's not an almost, you can. You just move your project that you have already put into ProStitcher over to where you want it to be. In other words, if I wanted to design everything as it is, I can, and that's not a problem. And then I can save it. And then, because things can happen, it's just like, you know what? No, I don't want to put it in this area. I want to move it over on this side of the entire frame space. I can do that. All you have to do is either you can use your nudges, you can use your fingers. I like to use my reposition, and then I go in finitely to actually use the nudge to get it exactly where I want it to be. So that is what I'm going to do at this point in time.
Can we actually pause on that?
Yeah.
Can you show the measurements of your fabric? Because I saw there was somebody that says they saw a flash of like a blue piece of paper that had a bunch of measurements on it.
Oh yeah, we've labeled each piece of the
Yeah,
project
let's go
based
ahead.
on based on what she measured.
And read out the measurements and what piece it is.
Yes.
Okay. So what is happening right now? One of you guys would, several of you have asked to see the exact measurements, and that's what we're going to do. We're taking the time now to make sure that you guys understand which pieces that we actually need. And I think Brianne may be able to type this in and let you know what we're going to do.
So these are all based on measurements of that standard composition book.
Yes.
Here we have that inside panel. We pressed it, but I'm going to unfold it. So this segment is 12 by 17.
And then when you fold it,
Actually, you know what?
that
I
is
think
not 12 by
oh,
17.
I
That's
was
12.
thinking to myself, I was like, did you cut it in half? Like, why is it
No.
so small? This is like a cooking show gone
It
haywire.
is. It is. It's a 12 by, this is really
Oh,
12
here
and
it
a
is.
half by
Okay.
10 and a half.
So it was 2 side sleeves. I just picked up the wrong piece.
You have side sleeves right now?
We have side sleeves.
And what that corresponds to is when you open up the composition book, there's the panel inside. So the front cover tucks into this panel.
Okay, so hold up and hold it still. That's 12.5 by 10.5. Press and half fold. Hold, hold. Keep holding. All right, now you're good to use.
And
so,
you
yeah,
need 2 of those.
2 pieces and then pressed in half.
Okay.
So
So
we
we'll
move
set
this.
that aside. And the piece I was showing off incorrectly was actually our lining. And that was where we chose our black contrast fabric. And so that's the piece that's 12 by 17.
Yep.
So that's kind of the interior of the book, is this lining piece and the 2 side panels. And then, if that's good, we have a top piece, the outside of the notebook, same dimensions as the lining. And the last section is a binding, which is that back binding of the actual notebook. So that's just a little skinny piece, 3 by 5 by 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 and a half is probably extra. Give yourself a little bit of playroom.
Okay. So those are all of our assembled parts. You know, one thing we didn't talk about, Tina.
Did you talk about the top piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just in case people want it again, you know, if you're matchy, you might not have a contrast lining. You might want to have these all cut from the same. So really what you need are 2 pieces that are 12 by 17.
Mhm.
One is the lining and one is the outside shell of the project, right? But they could be different fabrics. You might even piece this. You might get scrappy, you know, whatever you want the outside of your notebook to be. It could be a lot of things, but we're just dealing with this really cute Ruby Star fabric.
Okay. So the first thing we're actually going to deal with is going to be quilting our top fabric. So we need to quilt and piece everything before we actually do any accessorizing. So let's go ahead and get started with that.
So I have a question as you're arranging things on the quilt space.
Mhm.
What kind of batting are we using today? And what kind of batting do you think are recommended types? I'm just going to switch places.
Okay.
You know, I'm left-handed, so this
Yeah.
isn't a bad orientation for me. But what kind of batting do you think is like really good for this type of project? A thinner batting, lower loft? Like, does it matter? Do you
Yeah,
just
so
use
for
what you have?
me, yeah, for when it's going to be a book cover, if especially it's going to be for a child, I would use maybe a cost-effective batting, like an 80-20. I don't necessarily use polyester 100%. You can. There's nothing wrong with it. And the reality, Ashley, is, more often than not, it's whatever I have extra is
Right.
what I'm going to be working with, because it's such a small project, right? Now, I will say, in order to show the quilting off a lot better, you might want to use a bosal, because the bosal is more like a foam, and you can see a lot of dimension. You can see a lot of creativity. You can see all kinds of things. So we're going to, I believe we may have a question. So Brianne, what is our question? Okay. B-O-S as in Sam, A-L.
I've never heard of bosal.
You have it?
I am learning so many things today.
Yeah. So maybe we can get some Bozel before everything is over. I do have a little scrap in my suitcase that I brought from Texas that we can use.
This is the
next to
best
Kim.
part of having quilty friends. Not only do they tell you about new things, they'll say, I have some.
Yeah.
I'm going to share with you.
Yeah, so that is not a problem. So now, guys, we've agreed that we're going to move our actual project over, and we've started on one side and said, no, I'm going to move over here. I may want to use this other side for something else. So we're going to move our machine somewhere over here. I'm following along with what I have, and I'm going to reposition my entire design, right, according to my crosshairs. So right now my design is all the way over to the left in nowhere's land, and now I'm going to move it over to the right. So in order to do that, do you remember how we did that? We did a modify, reposition.
Modify, reposition, and
Yes.
we used these tools to align here.
Yes,
I think we still want to be in the top left.
I think so too. Let's try it out and see. So now that we've done that,
We're going to
refresh. Perfect.
and that looks great.
That looks pretty good, but are we really certain it's exactly where we want it to be?
Well, I love this button. Well, I always use the magnifying glass. You are a fan of taking your finger and touching the screen.
You want to know why?
Why?
I usually like to use the zoom at the very bottom right corner of your ProStitcher button so that I can see everything a lot, much larger than normal. But the reason why I like to use my finger in this instance is because I can pinpoint exactly what I want zoomed in. Because if you zoom in your entire project, well, you really don't know what part of the project you're
And then
actually
you
going
have
to see.
to go searching for
You've
it.
got to go search for it.
So this, I'm just going to hold on the screen and drag,
Yes.
and I make a little box.
Make a little box.
Oh, yeah. And look at that. We're so close already.
Yep.
But we can be extra close. And we can also use the nudge buttons.
We can use
if
the
we
nudge
feel
buttons.
like, because sometimes the carriage can be heavy. You can see I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But the nudge moves the whole machine physically as well, right?
It does. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Satisfied with it?
Yeah,
Let's go with
I'm
it.
good.
So with that being said, this is going to be our placement stitch. Let's go ahead and let's get stitching, right? We're going to go ahead at this point. Right now, we have our bobbin thread that has been dragged across, and it is underneath, and it's just kind of like hanging down
Yeah,
and
we need to
dangling
bring
in the
that
back.
up.
We need to bring it up. And the reason why we bring it up is because we don't want it to get caught into the bobbin case or the housing down there, and it just makes a big mess later. So let's bring it up so that we don't lose our stitching.
Yeah, we need that hook to start making that stitch the right way.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people who are newer to the long arm, it's almost like you have to make a muscle memory out of it. Oh, I used the magic word again.
Muscle memory.
No, I mean hashtag HQ
That's
memories.
what I was about to say. You stole my thunder. But anyway,
But, I was going to make a segue talking about giving people goodies because we're talking about the Bozel. And, but, we want people to get excited about our giveaway.
Tell them about it while I get this started.
I actually have no idea what we're giving
Okay.
away.
Okay, then I'm going to tell you about it.
But I'm excited that we're
so-
giving things away.
Okay, so no, it's very important that you guys go out there, use hashtag, tic-tac-toe mark, #, whatever you want to call it, HQ Memories, MEMORIES. Make sure it's all together, one word, even though it's not a word, but make sure it's one word. And it just type it in there, because what's going to happen at the end before we leave today, and this is going to be the last time for the month of August, you are going to get an opportunity to win a $50 gift certificate. And that gift certificate, you can redeem it at handyquilter.com. There are different accessories. You can use it for buying, I don't know. Maybe
what's your favorite
clamps.
thing? What would you buy?
Okay, because I'm getting a little bit older and, a little bit more full in my life, I tend not to really want to have to bend over as much as some people have to bend over to grab the leaders. So I have to say my favorite
Super leader
is the super leader.
yeah,
Because
that's a
whenever
popular
I'm
item.
loading, when I'm loading, I can pull it up here, and then I can actually pin without having to break my back and bend over because I might be a little bit too short. Or guess what? I maximized my space and I got the biggest machine I could possibly get. And getting around to the back of my machine sometimes can be a challenge. So it's between me and the table, and I'm trying to tap. And then sometimes, I might not win. So in order to make everything much easier, I just pull that little puppy next to me, and I'm like, okay, we got you, got you, and I'm pinning, and it just makes it much easier and faster for me. What is your favorite?
Oh, okay. So at the shows, we have an assortment of our gadgets and accessories that we sell. And I feel like I have a new favorite all the time.
What is that?
But, lately, since it's been summertime, I've really been enjoying our new handy fan. It's actually Handy Fan 2 and has these little octopus legs where you can actually clamp it right on the handlebars.
Yep.
Love it.
So if you guys can see this, well, one, I am quilting this out so that I can have a placement stitch, but Ashley has her handy fan here.
Yeah,
And
Lily
for those
brought
of
me
us
my
who
favorite.
need, Lily brought us a handy fan. And when you use that, you can just attach this to the machine itself. And go ahead, tell them about it.
Yeah, so this is our Handy Fan 2. So it was actually an upgraded item, and it has these wonderful octopus legs I just mentioned. They're very strong. Once you get it where you want it, it can stand on its own, or if you wrap them around the handlebars, it's not going to flop around. It has this USB cord, so you can actually power it off your machine, or if you wanted to extend it to a wall unit, you could. But we design things very thoughtfully to work with our machines. And it has 3 different speeds, and it's very powerful, but very quiet.
Wow.
Isn't that nice under these studio lights?
Oh,
Maybe
my
I was
goodness.
just getting really warm.
I
and
thought I
that's
was
why
having a
my
flash.
favorite. But,
Feels so good.
there's so many nice things you could spend $50 on. Bobbins. You always need plenty of bobbins to wind. It's good to have a spare bobbin case. What other goodies do we love?
Rulers.
So many.
Rulers. Yeah.
ProStitcher doesn't solve every quilting conundrum. So it's good to have all the skills. Free motion, rulers, ProStitcher.
Absolutely.
And when you buy some rulers, you need some handy grip.
That's right.
Look, I'm upselling.
All right, guys. So now we're going to take that 12 by 17 inch top. And if you can see, right now the thread that I used was white. So it's very hard to actually see that maybe on camera, but I just stitched out that rectangle. Once I've stitched out that rectangle, I'm going to grab my top and I'm actually just going to place it right over where I was. And I love this fabric because it's non-directional, and I don't have to worry about am I doing something upside down or not. It's going to work no matter what. So that's where we are now. You would think at this point it's like, okay, Tina, are you going to stitch this down because it's kind of flailing in the wind? And I could say, yeah, we actually could.
Yeah,
right.
You could baste it.
Yeah, we can baste it, or we can actually use the exact same rectangle that we use just to kind of keep it in line. And that's what I'm going to choose to do to save ourselves a little bit of time.
That is so efficient.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead, needle down and needle up.
Just letting the machine do the work.
Right.
I can see why people like having you teach them.
Yeah.
All the tricks.
So I'm going to go back over here to ProStitcher. One of the things that I've noticed is that whenever I pressed run, then that will help me bring up my bobbin thread because I have pull up on. But the other thing, notice it's right over here. The pull up is on. You also have pull up auto. And when you have pull up auto, you have that function to be able to pull up your bobbin thread, and then it moves over just a little bit so that you don't have to go play chicken finding your actual bobbin. Yeah. So right now I'm underneath ProStitcher, right? I could have been at File. I'm going to go over here to ProStitcher, and Quilt is going to be highlighted. And over Quilt we have Stitch. If you don't have Stitch highlighted, then it's just going to move and it's not going to make a stitch. So let's go ahead and press that Stitch button. This is for your MAR 20 and your MAR 24. The Start button, where it's going to tie off in the beginning, it's going to tie off at the end. The pull up looks like a loop. and little plus sign next to it. And once you do the pull up on, then it's just going to go down. It's going to pull up that bobbin thread. But for me, instead of trying to fish underneath here, what I'm going to do is now do pull up auto, and then that means it's just going to move over about an inch or so from that first stitch so that it pulls up the bobbin thread. So let's test out my theory and see if it actually works. Okay?
So we're going to do run.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we want to be in baste or do we want to just do our normal stitch? What do you recommend when we're just tacking it down?
It doesn't matter. It really is what you like. If you want to tack it down and put it in the baste mode, feel free to do that. But I think we're okay with run. Okay. And then we're double checking everything to make sure.
Yeah, we want to make sure we like our stitch length and all that good
and
stuff.
Our needle is
speed.
up. Yeah.
Proceed. I remember the first time I ever saw that function when we got a software update that made the pull up auto, and I saw the machine move, and I actually wasn't expecting it. I didn't know about it. And I was like, miracle of miracles. I don't have to wrestle with the foot.
Okay, so now I kind of have everything down. And the main reason why I said it doesn't matter at this point, because guess what? All of that part is going to be cut off anyway. So that's why I am not as concerned about anything. I'm pulling up my bobbin thread and I'm going to clip all of the edges. And I'm looking at this, and there's a couple of things that I can do, right? We've done this. We could have done a stitch and flip. We could have done all kind of things in order to zhuzh stuff up. We're going to try to find where is the halfway point. So if we know our squared, I don't know, do we remember what our dimensions were?
12 by 17 for this top piece.
12 by 17 by
Oh, you mean
top.
the dimensions that we, not of the fabric, but of the rectangle itself.
Yeah, do we remember that?
We measured it and it was,
if we can't,
I want to say it was 15 and a half.
We can't remember. So what do we need to do? We can always
just
go back to
in.
modify, resize, and we can look to see exactly what our dimensions were. We were over in ProStitcher. So now we're going to go over here. They asked for me to show you one more time. So we're going to show you one more time. From ProStitcher, we're just going to go back into modify because I can't remember what it was. I didn't write it down. But here we go. So now we're at resize. And then if you're at resize, you come over here in your sidebar. Well, we see that the height is already 10, right? And then our width, if we go over here, we know that it's at 16.5. So now that we know we have 16.5, what is half of 16.5?
8.25.
8.25, right? So that's why I have my grid mark on, right? So I have my 8.25 right over here. And I can count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I can move over to 8.25.
Okay, Tina. So since I've never used the grid before,
Yep.
And I'm having a learning moment, is the grid always 1 by 1?
The grid is, what do you mean by
Like
1 by 1?
1 inch by 1 inch? Like, is it always 1 inch? Like,
Yeah,
we're
this
counting
is 1
inches,
inch by 1
but
inch.
you know, if you can we resize it? Does it get larger? Does it get
I know that
smaller?
we can zoom in for sure if we needed to zoom in.
Yeah.
But for me, I just wanted to find where 8.25 is. So I know that if I count over 8, could I have used my ruler? I could have used the ruler, but in the same sense, the ruler is going to move with the quilt. And so then now it may be in a, I don't know, instead of square of 0, we might have it in maybe off on 2 inches, and I've got to add a little bit more. So
Okay.
that's that. For those of you who are interested in getting a handy quilter machine, or you may want to quote, one of the things that you can do is call the number that's being put on the screen, and you can talk to one of our, I think it is our RSMs, our regional sales managers, and they're going to be able to help assist you. They'll talk to you about whatever might be the best fit for you, as well as the type of machines that are available. If you don't know what size that you need, they can help you with that.
They're also going to talk you through
Yeah.
who your local retailer might be. If you don't know who sells handy quilter machines in your area, they're going to talk you through your options of everyone who's within a distance that you want to travel. And they're going to talk you through all the benefits of owning a handy quilter. Because why do you want to have a handy quilter? It's because we have service with a local retailer in your area, and we have an awesome education program.
Right.
So with those two things that you can have that support locally, it's, I think it's the best selling point we have,
It is.
aside from being a great machine. But you want those features, you want that help.
Yeah, you do. You
Yeah.
actually do. So if you want to grab one of those pieces, we're going to put our cover binding piece on next, just so
Okay.
that we kind of get an idea of what we're building up to be.
So this is that 3.5 by 12
Yeah.
contrast piece.
So I'm
And that is
folding it in half to find its half point, his midway point. I'm just, right.
and that you always layer over another piece of fabric, and it helps reinforce the cover, right?
Yeah, so this particular one, we're going to work with a slap-applique design.
Slap-applique.
It's just like we're going to slap things on and we're going to stitch things
I
out.
feel like there's another kind of Laurel and Hardy joke that wants to come out of my brain,
Oh, no.
but it's
No.
not happening.
So what we're going to do,
Comedy on demand.
we're going to kind of modify this. So remember when I went to my 8.25, I actually used a Sharpie marker so that I can at least mark where I was, right? And then I can go down on the screen and I can do the same thing. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm at 8.25, so I can mark down here too. And I'm looking at my laser light that's inside, and that laser light is going to show me where the 8.25 is. So now this is easy for me to actually just line up from this place to the next, right? We can lay that down. Now, we could lay that down and it could be cute as pie, but I think we all agreed that we kind of wanted to maybe do something different. Should we quilt things out, or should we try to start with our zhuzhing up? Maybe the zhuzhing up?
Well, this is the thing. It's like choose your own adventure. We have a lot of options.
Yeah.
You could always come back and top apply things later, but I like some decoration. I like some embellishment. I like some design features. So
Let's get it.
It's hardly a question. Do I want to judge? Of course I want to judge.
Okay, let's do that. So now that we have that, notice how I didn't do any of my quilting yet. I am actually just laying things out so that I have an idea of where I want to go and things that I want to do. So why don't you pass me all of the things as options of what we can
This
do.
bag of goodies that I've been
No,
hoarding.
that little pocket that we were talking about.
Oh, the mesh pocket's coming on
The
now.
mesh pocket. And then there's also this blue. Okay.
All these functional,
All these functional
but
things.
interesting things.
And then I don't know if you guys can see this, Lily. What I'm looking for is an 8x8 square of whatever type of design fabric or any type of vinyl that you might want to use. Or even if you just wanted to fold it over. So you take a 16x8 and then fold in and press it, and then you'll just have something that you can use to create a pocket. So, but let's talk about this. We now have mesh or something. We want to use this for our little sleeve or a little pocket. All right, Ashley, I don't know. We could use this plastic, and this plastic is more like vinyl. What do you think about that? If we want to make a pocket that we could probably put on the back.
Well, pockets are essential, but I also like to know where I put something. I lose things oftentimes.
Yeah.
So I do like the vinyl.
I like the
But
vinyl.
I really like the mesh.
Okay. Now, if you wanted to make it like a situation where you have like a pocket that just kind of blends into the back like a hidden pocket, then use the same material and you can use that, and then it doesn't stand out so much. Sure. I've been asked to lay it down one more time, so now I am laying it down one more time. So that's an option, right? We could use a pocket. We could use vinyl, or we could use, what do you think?
I mean, look at that. It's so stylish. We put some binding on it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And because it's mesh, if I put my favorite lip gloss in there, I can find it later.
Oh my goodness, here we go. So, but anyway, one of the things that we did do off camera was we actually put a little bit of binding on it. So it's up to you whether or not you want to use binding. You just do a little top stitch on it. And where do you find mesh? You can find them in any of your arts and crafts stores, especially your local quilt shop. It would be a great place to try to find it. So we decided that we were going to use a little bit of a contrasting fabric, and we're going to put the vinyl down, or the mesh down. And notice how the top is going to be a little bit more, it's going to overlay the mesh so that whenever we stitch this down, it's going to fall in there, right?
Also,
So
it just covers up that seam allowance, no raw edge.
exactly, it
Okay.
does. So one of the things I'm going to do at this point is that we're going to take this, and I'm offsetting my actual part, my actual mesh, so that I can see and I have things where I can kind of quilt things out. So I'm just going to lay it over to the side. And then I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, do I want to do, I said slapplique. Do we want to change our mind and make it look more cohesive?
I'm type A. I want tidy seam allowances tucked in,
Okay.
beautiful, clean lines.
Okay.
You know, one
Beautiful.
thing I do want to say,
What's that?
I love that we're using this mesh. I love that you have this vinyl. Like, people sometimes are afraid to expand beyond the world of quilting cotton. The long arm is a powerful machine. It can handle a lot. You have to make intelligent choices about your needles and threads sometimes, but it's like there is no limit to the creative things you can do.
Okay.
And I just think this is a great example.
Right. And so this is exactly what we're going to do at this point in time. We're going to take this, and I've just put a little mark here, so that I know that I'm still in the middle.
Oh,
Uh-oh,
Lily
we have
has
a question.
What kind of needle would be best for doing mesh?
Actually, you can still use your, you know me, my size 18 goes a long way. Can you do 16? Oh, the question was, what size needle do I use for my mesh? So let me just clarify. Mesh can come in so many different forms. This one is more of a vinyl mesh. You also have mesh that feels a little bit more like fabric, so it's a little bit more free-flowing. And I'm just going to be honest. I have nothing but a lot of size 18s in my stash at home.
Oh, you're the all-purpose
I am
type.
the all-purpose
Okay.
kind of
There's
girl.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. You're the boss
So
of your quilt
I
project.
use a size 18, and occasionally I might use a 16, might be a little bit larger. The main thing that I want to do is just make sure I have anywhere between 10 to 12 stitches per inch, so that I am going, whenever I'm quilting over it, it's capturing it and locking it in place. So what I'm going to do is I am now going to, I've marked my little line to denote where my half, well, I have my half line. I laid this down. I grabbed my little Sharpie marker, and I put a little mark here, and I put a mark down here on the mesh in the outside on the fabric where it's not going to be seen. I'm going to turn this over, and believe it or not, I could do a 1/4 inch stitch right here from side to side, but I'm going to use this actual marking, and I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to go a 1/4 inch over. Right? So now we have about a 1/4 inch over. Okay.
You know, we were talking about like glue and adhesive earlier.
Yeah.
Is this a thing where we might want to put a little adhesive to stabilize that? Or do you think, based on your experience, that this is just a straight shot and we're good?
Actually,
Oh, that's what the masking tape's for.
I use
I was
just
wondering.
painter's tape of some
Okay.
sort, and I just kind of like tear a little bit off
Oh, and just stick that down.
and just stick it down,
I love it.
just to kind of keep things from moving as much, right? And then when I quilt, I can easily quilt, and look at this. I can quilt on this, and then it can keep quilting through it, and then I just tear it off.
Yeah, and with that painter's tape, that's going to just come off
Right.
so easily.
So there's so many different functions. Could I have used the glue? Yes. Could I have used anything else? Absolutely, I could have. Could I use a ruler fit now? I absolutely could, right?
Oh, yeah, if you wanted that precise.
Yeah, if I
line up
wanted
your
that precise
stitch.
line, I could
Okay.
use a ruler foot. But since we don't have a ruler base on, then I'm not going to use that right now. But what I am going to do is I am going to just kind of like eyeball a 1/4 inch and just get in here. And I'm lining up my glide foot over my black fabric, which is also going to be over my white fabric and also my blue fabric,
And
right?
the glide foot also has those crosshairs, so
Crosshairs, yeah,
and all those markings, so it can give you a little visual check along the way.
absolutely. So that makes everything a lot easier. So now I am actually going to go over here to ProStitcher, and I am going to, I'm going to go off of my fabric just a little bit, and I'm going to go over here to, give me a second, to record. And from record, I'm going to use my mark tool and hit mark here. And then as you notice, the words kind of like floated down. So you now know that one point has been already noted. And I'm actually going to move this adjustable handlebar up so that I can see everything that I have here. I'm going to move it all the way down and keep it straight. I'm using my grid to make sure I'm kind of like staying in the same place. And then I'm going to hit mark again, or I can hit the actual diamond that has the same shape on the handlebar that's there. So now that I've done that, if I move over to the side, I can see that a straight line has been made.
So between the grid and the tools and the foot that we have on here, you can say you eyeballed it, but it's almost like this is working for you. You don't have to think that hard.
It's working for me. So then what we're going to do is we're going to hit quilt and run and then proceed. It's moving out the way so I can grab that thread, and we're going to hit resume. There you go.
You know, we're having a lot of teaching moments talking through this, but this is just a great project. I'm so excited about how it's coming along already. And when you've done 1 or 2 of these, you could make them for like a whole classroom.
You
of
can make
kids.
them for the classroom, and better yet, wouldn't this be the cutest thing to give a teacher as they get ready to go to school?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So trying to get those brownie points right off the top. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure Everett was a
Brianne is saying that she can tell that
One of
Everett
my
was a
sons.
handful.
He was not a handful. My son is a mama's boy. I actually have 2 mama's boys, and love them
How
both dearly.
lucky. We have met, I would say, almost your whole family.
Almost my whole family.
And, you know, it's just been such a pleasure. We love having people visit. You know, if you're in the area here in North Salt Lake in Utah, you can actually come visit our offices. You can see how we get the machine sent out the door to you. You can come see the quilts we have on display. You can test drive a machine. We love meeting people, family and friends from all over.
So, yes, we do love meeting people.
Look how perfect that is.
So that does look really nice. Now we have options here, Ashley. If we wanted to do like a slapplique and do the exact same thing, we're going to have a raw edge on this one side. But she challenged me, right? She doesn't want to see all of this kind of crazy stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over here in the corner, and I'm going to pick out something. Who has ever had to pick out anything? So I am just actually just kind of clipping the edge, and I'm getting in here. And you have to be really careful, because do we have like a little unpicker?
Oh, a seam ripper.
A seam
Gosh.
ripper.
Let me look around.
If we don't, you guys see that I'm on a roll.
By the time I find something, she will probably have this under control. I know we have some, but
That's
I
because
just-
she challenged me, and I'm
I
going
thought
to
you
try
were
to live
gonna.
up to the challenge.
I thought you were gonna use that exciting black and white gingham trim.
Do you want to use the black and white gingham trim? Is she changing her mind on me again? We can do that.
We don't have to change it because now you've done the work.
Would
but
you like to see the black and white gingham trim?
Let's preview it.
Let's preview it. Okay, let's see what we have before I finish it up. Here we go. Here we have the black and white gingham trim.
You know, if you bring all these goodies to show off, we have to try them on. In the words of Mickey Chapelier, we have to have the cute things.
We have to have the cute things. All right. So how many of us like the black trim? I mean, if we have the black trim, we can
I
put the black
think
trim.
that adds a very nice touch. But please tell me,
Guys,
were gonna do.
everybody is real. It doesn't matter what I was about to do. We're just going to go, we're going to roll with it, right? We're going to just take this sail and just let the wind blow us where we may. But we're going to land, as I say, we're going to land this plane before this is all said and done. So, okay,
But,
girls.
you know,
No, your wish is my command, Ashley. It is. We're going to do this.
Okay, but I have little sister syndrome. I want all the things. So I want you to tell me what you were going to do by unpicking that. Like what would we do if we had no cute trim?
No, so you know what? If I were going to unpick this, actually, all I was going to do is I was going to unpick it until we get to this side. And then I was going to just actually remove all of this stuff. And just like we did a stitch and flip here, I was going to do stitch and flip one more time, but make sure the black is underneath the bottom, the blue on top, do a stitch line, fold it back over, and then we would have had that little cute edge that she wanted. That's
Oh
what she said
gosh,
she wanted.
oh gosh.
Did you guys hear that? That's what she said she wanted from the beginning, but we're going to do this.
You know, it's my prerogative to change. But
It
you
is.
can override me because you are the teacher. But I will say that sounds like a lot of steps. And just putting that on top, it's like that's one step and it's like ultimate cuteness.
Ultimate cuteness is where we're going to go for.
Efficiency will always override my
We can put
ideas.
that right over there
We'll
for
say
me, please.
there's
Yeah.
always an escape hatch with me.
Okay. So when we get ready to stitch this down, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can change our foot or we can use the same thing. I'm determined to try to use my glide foot as much as possible today, only because I'm going to be moving over several layers of fabric. And there's no other better way to secure your fabric to secure fabric from shifting and moving on you than having the glide foot down. So that's what we're going to do.
It's so multi-purpose.
At this point, I will say, if you had the time, you could use some type of adhesive, and then you can actually put this down right where you want it to be, and it will keep it from shifting and moving. We can try the Elmer's glue, but I don't know if that's really the best option, simply because when I put the Elmer's glue down, it really doesn't have a lot of time to dry, and I prefer to have it to dry. So instead of using a nice ample amount, I'm just going to use a little bit. Or do you want to use the tape? Is that where you're going?
I thought we might do a little combination of both. Well, I thought
we're going to do a combination of
both.
both. Okay.
With live TV, I was thinking in my head, oh yeah, but I don't want time to wait for that to dry. So I thought you were going to demonstrate a little, and then we would just use the tape.
So this is how we would put glue onto it, right?
This is why I am not a national educator.
That's all right. This is what makes
the machines
every class fun, like fun. Okay. Now, I will say, once you've gotten to this point, if you were to put the blue fabric down and you wanted to have it all completely quilted out, that would have been a perfect opportunity to quilt the entire thing. But because we're embellishing along the way, we're going to quilt the things that we can easily see as opposed to quilting over, because we've already added our pocket. If we move our pocket over, we can still do some quilting underneath here, or we can just quilt this portion up here. All right, Ashley, here you go, girl. You're killing me.
This is like making a collage before you smear the Mod Podge on.
Yeah. No, I'm just getting here and just kind of like press it down a little bit better.
I'm still going to be your favorite person to film.
I don't know if you're going to be my favorite person after this. I mean, I used to love coming, but I don't know. This girl right here, she's taking me to a whole new level. But no, this is actually pretty cool. I know, I brought the gingham ribbon. I showed, the one thing we can say is that we are getting rid of all the scraps that we might have.
I do love to get rid of scraps. In my previous Clueless Quilter episode that Kim mentioned at the top of the hour, we talked a lot about how I don't keep a fabric stash It's the one thing that is not quilter-like of me.
Okay, it's okay. All right, so what I'm going to do at this point is I am actually going to take the time to use my channel logs. This is going to be a different way in which I can secure this. So we're going to go over here to ProStitcher and we'll go over to channel logs, right? We're using all the tools today. We are using
Yeah,
them.
this is
And we're going to go over here to vertical. I'm going to put my little spectacles on so I can see this clearly. And now we're able to go up and down, okay? Straight up and down. Before I do that, let's bring up the bobbin thread before I have a situation. I'm about to, oh, look at that, guys. I like to do this too. So whenever I'm not able to allow my ProStitcher to move me over, because I'm not using a ProStitcher design at this point, I am now able to take this thread, floss it underneath, and that bobbin thread.
Oh, what a great tip. I was wondering what you were up to.
Yep, just a little flossing, you know. So here we are. We're going to go, actually, I'm going to go over here off of vertical. I'm going to move it over a little bit because I want to make sure I'm getting the fabric underneath. Actually, I don't know if we have we do, tie off on. So now I can use a free hand, turn it on, make some stitches, come straight down. This is helping me stay in alignment. Okay, bring up that bobbin thread and we're going to clip it. Moving, we're doing needle down, needle up, move it out the way. Another, I like to just pull, give a little bit of slack over here. Not everybody does. And then move it out the way to pull up that thread. It makes like a letter M. And then I'm able to get in here and clip off the excess. Okay, I'm gonna turn vertical off. And that's actually, I have to give it to her. It's kind of stinking cute. It's cute.
I had a feeling.
I knew you had a
Yeah.
feeling. I got a feeling. Okay, you know, I can't sing. And I just started singing as, oh, I'm embarrassed. As if I were at home. Okay, here we go. So now that's down. All right, Ashley. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to it, but there's two different sides. If you don't mind, pass me my composition book, please. So when I'm putting this actual vinyl on, it feels like I'm working backwards. My back is really going to be on my left side, and then my front is really on my right side. So when you open this up, you can see that I have I could use a little bit of thing. So we have to make sure that this front side is going to line up with this front side. So I'm working with just this front side. This back side is where I want my pocket to be, so I put it on the left side. Okay. She passed me this, but I'm about to do a twist. This is what Tina wants to do, right?
Oh, I like
Yeah.
it.
So I listened to her long enough, right? Listened to her long enough. But I want to put something right here to make it look kind of cute. What do you think?
I think we have an infinite possibility for cuteness.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to 11. It'd be great.
Okay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use my ProStitcher still, right? And I'm going to go into, we're doing on time, we're doing good, file. And I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to actually, guess what? Clear everything. I don't have to see this anymore. Or I can do an undo. Let's do an undo. Because I'm going to get rid of our mark where we had something. So I can't see anything really clear. I'm going to clear everything. File, clear all. We're all good. Now that I've done the file, clear all, I am going to come over here. And right now, I'm going to create a new area. All right. So I'm going to get to file, not edit, but I'm going to go to area. And I'm going to hit two corner here. And I'm going to where my lines were before, and I'm going to do another 2-corner. So now I have this one space that I want to work with. And I want to put my name, not my name, actually, I'm going to put my initial in this.
Oh, I love
Because
it.
I'm going to use the things that are actually here. So let's see. I'm going to go to File.
Little
and
monogram.
Yeah, I think we have a designer in here. I'm going to File, Design, Open. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to go past the blocks, continuous line, corners, and triangles. I'm going to scroll up. And I think her name is Leslie or Linda. Let's see. We can just check it. It could be Linda Goslin. No, I don't see any letters. Let's try this next Linda. Okay. I don't see anything over here, but over here to the left of Linda, I touched it and she has a drop down. So therefore there's
That's
an
what the
alphabet right there.
alphabet is. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to use, do you want this to be a T or an A for Ashley?
I think it should be a T for Tina.
Okay, T for Tina. All right, so now that we have our T for Tina, what we're going to do at this point is we are going to open it up, and we see that it is nowhere where I want it to be. So what do you think I want to do? I'm going to move my handlebars or to move my, that looks about halfway-ish.
Yeah.
What do you
And
think?
that grid is so helpful because
Yeah,
we can move it to the center or align it top and bottom, resize the thing,
right.
all the stuff.
So she's totally right. So because I probably want to reposition the T because it's nowhere in the area, what do you think I want to do at this point? I'm going to go over to modify, maybe reposition it.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
But there's choices.
There's choices. I'm going to try reposition. And instead of using top, left, bottom, all of that, I'm just going to put, you know what? Let's center it. So that T looks pretty good. It's a little bigger than what I want it to be. So I'm actually going to kind of decrease it in size a little bit. Oh, but it's only making it more narrow. But I'm actually not disagreeing with it. What do you think? Do you want a big T, smaller T? If I wanted to lock my aspect, then it's going to lock both the width and the height, and I could make it smaller. What do you think?
I like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. But wait, do I want to stop there? Do I want to play with it more and try rotate? Do I want to rotate it a little bit? We can try that. That's not quite. It's too much for me.
Yeah. But
But maybe get custom rotated a little bit. See?
yeah, we could just nudge it a little.
And I just went down to custom rotation. It's set at 5 degrees, so it moved it a little bit. But what do you think? Do we leave it there?
I like knowing that we could. But I, as I said earlier, I'm a little type A. So I like being aligned and
So
centered.
let's go ahead and let's hit reset.
But what if we wanted it in like the lower corner
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
or
Well,
the upper corner? Or
let's use our finger this time. And let's see if we can, oh, well, nope, I have the zoom on, so I can't see it. So let's go back to home. And then what I'm going to do is take zoom off. Well, let's go select, zoom off. And then I am going to try to grab my T and then kind of move it down here in the corner. Is that what you like?
maybe it could be
Smaller?
a little smaller if we
Yeah.
wanted it there. But I think it was looking great in the middle.
So let's go back and we hit our
But yeah, we could undo. If we want
undo.
to change it.
We could undo over here, or we can hit reset.
Oh, reset.
Reset is still over
Okay.
here in our sidebar. And is it going to put us back where we are? No, you're right. So what do? Undo.
Good undo button. We're well acquainted.
Our little friend. Okay.
I think it's very stylish.
Right. So now we still have options. We have options. So this is where the slapplique is going to come in. And Brianne, if you want, can you pass us the bozal so that people can actually see that foam? And Ashley, if you don't mind, can we find the scissors and just cut off some of this excess batting? This is bozal. For those of you who wanted to know what bozal look like, this is it. You can use this and create texture and dimension, and it acts just like your batting would. It kind of helps stabilize things. I don't necessarily use the bosal that you can actually have, I guess, like a sticky side or a sticky surface and iron it on. I like to have a little bit more freedom and flexibility. We have an option. We can try to use this bosal, or because I want to make it puff up a little bit
Oh,
more.
a little puffy.
Okay. So we could use this, or we could use batting. Which would you like to do to make our tea pop up a little bit?
I think we need to feature the basil because we talked about it.
Okay.
But I wasn't sure what batting you wanted me to cut off. Oh, if
No,
we
that's
needed
okay.
a scrap.
If we needed a scrap. So what I'm going to do is just cut some of this off. There we go. There we go. We can put this here. We can grab our fabric. And I just decided to pick up a white piece of fabric. It has a little bit of movement on it, and I'm trying to figure out which side is up, and I think this side is.
Those
Right.
white on white patterns are
Right.
hard to tell.
So at this point, this is when I would come over here. And I would actually do a basting stitch to baste everything down to keep it from moving. And I'm using my crosshairs up here to make sure that it is all where it needs to be. Make sure that it's going to fit with no problem, and it will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very rough basting stitch. So we're going to go to ProStitcher, get back over here to baste, do a needle down, needle up. I'm going to bring my threads up. Moving this out the way. The reason why I'm using a basting stitch is because I am going to eventually pick this part out, and I don't want it to be seen, but I also don't want anything to move. Could I have used my adhesive? I could have, but in this case, I prefer not to use it.
Oh, I just can't wait to see how this turns out. I am absolutely going to make my own. I have a lot of sketchbooks, notebooks, all kinds of books. I'm a bookworm. Maybe now is a good time to just review the opportunities people have to call and talk about, machines if they're interested in an Amara. We also have some bundle specials going on right now. People can get a batting and thread bundle, a $500 value gift certificate to ProStitcher Designs, or an HQ highlight. Those are some of the specials we have going on right now. So Brianne can share the number. If you call one of our sales managers, we'll talk you through all of the options, finding a local retailer in your area, and kind of introduce you to the machine that you are going to bring into your home. Oh, I'm learning so many things today.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
So it's so funny. Okay, you can go to some of your big box stores and you can get some bosal if you're fortunate enough to have big box stores that has an arts and crafts part. I'll talk on this side. Or another place that you can go. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you out. You can stay in here with me.
Let's be close. Talk about craft supplies.
I know. But more importantly, more likely than not, you can buy it at your local quilt shop. I did buy mine from a shop that's just like maybe 5 minutes from headquarters here. And they have different kinds. They have kinds that are like in a roll. So what you saw me just kind of cut things off so you can buy the yardage. They have it also in 2-inch and 2.5-inch strips because maybe you might want to have a shoulder strap, and you
Okay.
can create something
Good
with that
for
there.
bags.
Absolutely.
All kinds of quilted bags, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And then I don't know if I should say it. Hobby Lobby sometimes carries it, but yeah, it's just a craft store. Wherever you want to go, they normally have it. More often than not, you can find it at your quilt shop if they carry more than just basic.
Yeah, if they have a good notion selection.
Yeah, that you want someone that has a lot of notions, but that's where you can get it. The unpicker.
Well, we couldn't find an
That we
unpicker,
didn't. I have one.
but you have some mini scissors.
I have some mini scissors. And so as you can see, this doesn't take a long time to stitch out, but it's really cute when this is all said and done. And believe it or not, we are almost towards the end of this. You can embellish as much as you want to embellish. You can quilt as much as you want to quilt. But what I'm going to do is just kind of like show you something that I would probably do and give you an idea of how to finish this a little quicker, but it'll just be a sample. And then we'll do the reveal so that you can see what it's going to look like before we leave.
I love a good reveal. Like a cooking show where they pull the fully baked lasagna out of the oven in no time. Like it didn't happen with TV magic.
Yeah, and
Who
I didn't
would
have
know?
lunch, so you want to talk about food right now.
Sorry.
Oh, that's so good. That's all right. It's going to happen.
I love this design because
Yeah.
it's not just a tee. It has this cute quilted motif.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be
material is
so
so
soft.
good.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
This has been so fun.
So with the Bosel, what's so good about this, if you decide that you don't want to stitch so tight or so densely, then you can actually make it even have more of that trapunto look. It's going to pop out. So let's go ahead.
I found one in the last half hour of the show.
How about
Finally
that?
found a seam ripper.
Right.
Just a little persistence.
We can kind of get in here and get started. And I'm going to tell you, look, once you get started, it doesn't take long just to kind of get in there and unpick the rest of it. But I'm going to actually, now that I got started, I like using my scissors just to get in here. To pull it off. Is that rain that I hear here? Wow.
Oh, finally.
I know.
Been waiting for that all day. It's a very exciting thing when we get rain here in the desert this time of the year.
That's so cool.
I know this already looks great. Just releasing that basting has let it puff up a little. Oh, so cute.
We're almost there.
When are we going to give away our hashtag HQ Memories prize? Are we doing that on air now, or is that
Can I
going
see
to happen?
scissors too? Okay. Let's go
So
ahead.
in another
I'm gonna get
15
in here.
minutes, so we can give people a chance to comment and tag hashtag HQ Memories.
So I use my scissors just to get in there to be a little bit quicker, but more often than not, you have applique scissors that you can use, and that'll help you get into it. Oh, let's go ahead and let's bring up our bobbin thread here. Needle down, needle up, bam. Move it out the way, bring it up. There we go. So then you would use your scissors here. Actually, I'm wearing my little apron. So I'm going to use the scissors that I normally use because
You should show that on the camera over there by
Look
Lily.
at that. I have my little
So
dinger. This
fun.
is normally what I wear when I'm teaching, and I have my scissors on. I don't want to dull the scissors that they have, so I'm going to use mine to get in here and actually just kind of stitch, cut away close to everything, and then you'll have a cute little look here. Can you guys see that? And then I'm just going to go up here, cut some of this stuff away so that I can get up here easily. Actually, where the big scissors. Cut off all the extra stuff. Cut off all this extra stuff.
And for all those people who are watching, I was just talking about that hashtag. That is so that you can win a $50 gift card or gift code to handyquilter.com. Only good on our website. And so the hashtag itself is the little hashtag symbol, of course, HQ no dash, HQ memories, MEMORIES, all one word. It's always fun to have a giveaway.
It's
I
fun
like
to have
it.
a giveaway, but it's going to be fun to have a completed project too.
Well, yeah, I'm just keeping everybody amused with my fascinating banter while you are trimming that applique. I don't think I could do that so fast.
Oh, you can do it. This is a rough trim. Normally I take the time to make it nice and smooth, but I want everybody to get the idea of what this is going to look like. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's cute. It's fun. It's washable if you ever wanted to wash it and reuse it. You don't have to worry about it tearing up so easily like we talked about at the top
Oh,
with the
nice.
bags.
Yeah.
So,
And if somebody really didn't do the best or they had an accident with the scissors, they could also go around the edge with the couching foot and some cute yarn.
Yes,
And that can camouflage any boo-boos.
absolutely.
And, you know, if you win that that prize, you could buy yourself a couching foot with your gift
You sure
card.
can. And then you would just pull out all of the extra threads that you have from your basting, and it's going to look nice and neat. And I have to give it to you. Dadgummit, Ashley, it does look nice.
This looks great.
So,
I you know, more is more. What can I say?
more is more. Here we go. I can't handle it. I got to get this last little bit. You know, that's going to bug me. All right, so now we're at this place. Could we go ahead and actually do things? Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
at
The
this
quilting
point,
part is
let's
easy
do the
and
quilting
fast.
part. Quilting is fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look at my screen, and I'm just going to kind of put every inch or so. I am going just to do a little quick quilting line, and it's going to be a horizontal line. So I'm going to use my channel locks. I'm going to over here to ProStitcher, and I'm going to hit channel lock, horizontal, and then I'm going to go to quilt, run, and proceed. Oh no, I'm not. Look, wrong thing, going too fast. Cancel. We're going to go back over here to the top. Line it up right on the outside of my fabric, and I'm going to go to about an inch. Remember I said ProStitcher. I'm going to channel lock, make sure horizontal is on, and then I'm going to do this manually. I'm going to floss, bring up my thread, and then I'm just going to stitch. I stop. I'm going to turn the horizontal lock off, and I'm just going to do more stitching where I come straight down to the next 1 inch line. I'm going to stop, put the horizontal lock on again, and I'm going to go back over. Stop. Then I'm going to turn the horizontal off. I'm just going to stitch outside of the lines, get back to the next 1 inch line, hit the horizontal lock. I don't know if I want to actually.
Yeah, I think we could just tie that off.
We can tie it off. So
but
if I
look
can,
how simple and easy this is.
Exactly.
You don't need a lot of fancy quilting to make a statement on
I
your
tied
project.
it off, and then because I'm only traveling a little bit, I can get right back over here, do
You
another
don't
tie
even
off.
have to
Right,
love it.
right. Horizontal lock off. Come down 1 more inch. Could I do this? I could. Am I going to do this? I am not. So at this point, we're just going to move this over to the side.
It's like a wide ruled notebook. It's the
It
perfect
is.
design.
It's the perfect design for this. Now, I think we all get the idea. We can come right here, take that horizontal lock off, come down to that extra inch. And how are we doing on time? We're doing good. Do you guys want me to finish the quilting?
Go for it.
Go for it? Okay. So I am going to bring my thread up, my bobbin thread, that is. And I'm going to do a tie-off stitch. Okay. And then I'm going to keep on quilting. Oh, well, the machine is heavy, so that part is good. I forgot to hit my horizontal lock, so I'm just going to do that now. And we're going to keep on going. Tie off. I'm going to skip over a little bit. Do a tie off. Continue. Okay. If you want, Ashley, you can trim up all of the extra stuff. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Put me to work.
Okay. Fine.
Love it.
Again, I'm finding that 1 inch line. I'm using my grid mark so that I know how far to kind of make this. And the reason why I'm tying off is because in the event that I ever did want to wash this, I don't want my stitches to come apart. And securing it with a tie off will create a knot and allow it not to actually come apart. Now, could I stitch in the ditch here? I could stitch in the ditch if I wanted to, and that's what I'm going to do. And I am looking, there we go, horizontal. But Tina, I see that white thread. I don't want to see the white thread. Let me show
Where's
you.
your Sharpie?
There you go. You got
I
a
know
new
this
job.
trick.
Yep, we
I
know
learned
that.
this early on in my quilting career.
Let's do some thread painting in a different kind of way.
Hey, Tina,
Yes.
quilt with the channel lock, are the gears on?
My gears are currently on, actually. So my question was from you guys, when I'm quilting, do I have my gears on or do I have my gears off? And my gears are actually on.
Yeah, not to be confused with a channel lock, which is the white clamp you can buy.
Right.
These are electromagnetic channel locks, part of, well, that's also an accessory item, but when you have the ProStitcher, that is part of the function.
Thank you for clarifying that, Miss Ashley.
And that is a great point, that if someone were making this project, no ProStitcher, they could use the channel lock clamp and
Exactly.
have great results.
Exactly. And I think this is our last row. Right? And then I'm going to tie it off one last time. We've done that. We've quilted it. We're going to turn the channel locks off. And then we're going to bring up our bobbin thread. Quilted it out. Notice how, even though this last little portion at one point was all stitched out, we kind of changed it up. Now, let's go ahead and this is where the fun begins. Let's get our backing.
Do we need the backing or the side panels?
We need our side panels. Thank you very much.
So we're going to have them in
Right.
this direction.
You'll lay it right here
So
on one side.
And that's the pressed edge, raw edge on that side.
The raw edge goes towards the raw edge towards the outside. And I have it kind of over to the side just a little bit. And before we get there, before we do all of that, let me guys show you a little trick. We're going to use that mark tool. And when we use the mark tool, it's going to help us with putting and closing the entire thing. So we'll probably start like right about here. And then I am just going to do file, clear all, clear everything. It really doesn't matter. Go back in your ProStitcher. We're going to go to record, hit mark. That's the first actual point in which we're going to do something. Actually, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go a 1/4 inch in. I'm going to line the inside of my glide foot to the outside of the actual placement line that we have. And I'm going to hit mark. We're going to go up. I'm still lining everything up, hitting mark again. I'm going to come all the way over here. I'm going to do the same thing, 1/4 inch here. Come down here. It's going to be about a 1/4 inch from where that stitch line once was, here.
So this is our seam allowance. And we're doing this because when we lay these layers on top, we would kind of be going blind. So we're just telling the machine what to do.
Exactly.
So we don't have to think about it.
Exactly. So could I have started and stopped anywhere? What you want to do is just give yourself room to flip. So this is where we began. I'm just giving myself a bit more room. May have been better just to come down here and start it, but we didn't. And we're going to come over here and then we're going to stop right about there. And this will be our final stitch out right there. Oops. Let's go back. That looks like it's off a little bit. So let's come back over here. I want to line it up with that green mark right here. I want to see everything. I'm having a hard time seeing the whole thing. So what we can do is make sure we're right there. We're good. I don't want to move it. Stop right about there. Okay. We're going to come back down here, make sure we catch it on the edge where it's supposed to be. Everybody's holding their breath. Will she do it? Will she do it? Can she do it? She only has a couple of minutes before the top of the hour. Will she do it? We're going to try to do it.
Well,
Okay.
it's worth being precise so you can just do it once, right?
Right. Now, so let's go ahead and put all of our extra stuff on. What about the elastic? Do you still see your elastic
Oh,
over there?
yeah. Let's get some
You want to put the
elastic
elastic
in there.
on?
And it's cute elastic, of course.
Cute elastic. So what I'm going to do is actually put this elastic on the front side, and I'm going to just put it underneath, like right there in the middle of my teeth. Line everything over. Got plenty of where I've thrown all my stray threads around. So that's that. She is putting, I think I pulled the thread out of the needle, so she's rethreading it so that I can actually get here.
But you know,
and
when
stitch it.
it's white thread, it's oh, and then I did something not smart.
So this is a good thing. Guys, things like this happen when you're at home. And the thread came out. So whenever you are threading it, these needles, they are a 134 style needle. And the benefit of that is it has a groove around the front side of the needle. So whenever you are trying to put the thread through, you actually can. And can I tell you what I do in order to slip it in probably a little bit easier? I moisten my fingers and I don't moisten the thread. And then I wipe down the needle and I use that to create like a little, I don't know, suction. And so then whenever I use that thread to go inside, it pops in. Did you get it, or would you like me to try?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Third time's the charm.
Yay!
Tina.
So what I'm
Okay.
going to do is just make sure that everything that I marked is going to fit, that this black is actually going to be in the boundaries. Over here, we're doing great. When I stitch up here, is it going to be inside? Yep. Then what about down here? Will I catch it? I will. Okay. A little close, but
Worth
hey,
that double check though.
it's worth it. It's over here. So we're good. Let's go for it. Right? I like to put it close to where it began. Just to keep the motors from working as much. Can they do it? Absolutely. Pull everything up. We're going to resume. Okay, so as fate would have it, guess what, guys? We ran out of bobbin thread. Would you pull a piece of bobbin thread out so that we can finish this up? Do you know where bobbins are?
No.
Okay, that's all right. Look at that. We're plumb out of bobbin thread. Completely gone. So we will just stitch it one more time, which will make it even much more secure. I'm going over the top as if this was a roll of toilet paper, sticking it inside, going up and over, and then I'm going to pop it back in. On a normal day, this would be a great time for you guys to, put another drop of oil in, but we're going to go ahead and finish this up. And notice how I'm finishing it up. I can't start right here. I'm going to have to stitch this out again, but because this is a fast stitch out, we're just going to kind of go for it. So we're going to hit cancel, ProStitcher, run, proceed. We're going to pull up that bobbin thread and we're going to hit resume. Oh, you see. What we're going to do is to kind of give you guys a quick preview of what this would look like when we're all done. This is when we get to cut this away. And yes, I know we didn't finish stitching everything all the way to the end, but this is when you can use a whip stitch to close everything up and it makes it really nice. So let's go ahead and let's kind of cut a 1/4 inch away from that line to do our grand reveal so we can see what in the world did Tina and Ashley create today.
It's going to be a masterpiece, obviously.
Yeah, so when you're at home, I would cut this off, and when I cut it off, it might be pretty raw, but I would use an actual ruler of some sort to cut it about a 1/4 inch away, if not a 1/2 inch away. Take the time to kind of miter your sides. Why? Because that kind of reduces the bulk as you get ready to make that turn. And I like to go at least a 1/2 inch away on this side where the seam is going to be open, because that gives you a little bit more room to do what you need to do to cut this off. Look at all that. Do you guys see that? That was a lot of bulk right there, and the machine just stitched through it beautifully. Okay. All right. Who's all ready to see what's going to happen here? Okay. Now, when you're doing this at home, I do suggest that you kind of stitch around it twice. Do a tie-off stitch, of which I didn't do on this last part. And when you do that tie-off stitch, guess what's going to happen? It's going to lock your seams in place and keep them from coming apart.
Yeah, that reinforcement.
You need reinforcement in so many different ways in life. So while I'm doing this, I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me for these past couple of days. You didn't have to do it. I hope that, I was inspiring and helped you to learn something new, if not just kind of like hone in your skills, or if nothing else, just say like, I ain't doing it like Tina. That ain't gonna work out. But needless to say, this has been a fun opportunity to hang out with you. And if you want a handy quilter machine, or if you want to talk about it a little bit more, if you want to test it out, again, go out to Handy Quilter's website, look for your favorite educator. And then once you find your favorite educator, guess what you can do? You can see where they're going to be teaching. If nothing else, you can also go to an event by putting in your zip code so that you know, hey, I wonder what's over there, what's going on over there. I wonder if there's anything in my area, something near that I could go to and do something. So as you can see, guys, I am getting in here. I'm doing a rough little, it's hard. I talked about Ashley being type A. I can be like that too. And I want these to be a nice box corners, but I'm going to get this in for you guys. Let's see. There we go. So as you can tell,
that was worth all the extra details.
I know. Look at all the extra details. As you can tell, we have the little elastic here. The elastic is going to go to the other side. Tina, I'm looking at what you did. It's kind of cute, but hey girl, this one side is not right. I know that. All you have to do is take this, flip it over to the other side, right? And then it'll reveal itself, and you'll be able to have all of this. Now notice, it's a little raw right here, but that's okay. Why? Because you're going to stitch that up on your hand at the end, right? Because we had to leave some space in order for us to flip our project inside out. So, but anyway, this is what it looks like. We'll grab a cover, see what happens. We're going to stick it in here. It's not completely popped out perfectly.
Do you want to do both sides?
We do both sides. We lift it up in the center, right? And then we
just coax it into its other flap.
So then whenever we're all finished, look at how cute this actually turned out to be. Tina's and Ashley's gift.
I love it.
Right? And then I'm going to show you over here.
We have to show it off to everybody.
Right? So when you open it up, look at that. You have your words, your trims, anything you want to put in here. Use this to actually close it up. But if you made it for your tablet or your laptop, that's totally fine. You would just make these sleeves a lot longer. And then this elastic will still be on there. You can cover the whole thing up, and look at that. You will be able to still close it up and keep it protected. So again,
this was fun, Tina.
It was a lot of fun. Yay. Guys, thank you again. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about
the drawing. For those of you who did use hashtag HQ memories, tell me, who is the drawer?
Yeah, Brianne is selecting our winner. In the back, if you guys are ever interested, this is a quilt that I made. It is called Diamonds and Pearls. It's something that's dear to my heart. I made it for my husband, and it just kind of like it encapsulates. Oh, that's just totally jacked up. I messed up that word. But anyway, it totally embodies our family and our history, our journey. If you're ever interested in that pattern, feel free to check it out at sewisaid.com. That's SEWISAID. And Ashley, girl, we did it. We landed the plane.
All right, Doris Barati, she won.
Okay.
Email spotlight@handyquilter.com.
Okay. Tell her who our winner is.
Can you say it one more time?
Doris
Imperati. Okay. Doris Imperati. And she is going to email us at what?
Spotlight.
Spotlight. They're never going to invite me back.
Okay, email.
Spotlight@handyquilter.com.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yes.
Spotlight@handyquilter.com.
Yeah. Doris, please contact us. Spotlight@handyquilter.com.
Please.
$50 for you to use on handyquilter.com. We will be so excited to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, guys. See you next time.